You're watching CBS 8 Mornings at 6.
It is another weather impact alert day with more rain on the way right now. Thanks so much for joining us here. 6 a.m. on your Friday. I'm Eric Connert.
And I'm Chris Groh. Of course, we know that there has been a ton of impacts here because of the rain, the wind that we've been seeing. So let's go to meteorologist Evan Rorani right now with a quick check on the forecast. And Evan, as we were saying, not a pool day today.
No, I feel like people at home are just tired of this. San Diegans,
a little bit, yeah.
4 days straight of rain.
We don't pay for this.
No, exactly. I will say we needed it, so this has been helpful. And I've had a lot of questions as to whether or not this kind of brings us back to where we'd like to be on our water year so far. It still does not. We're still at quite a deficit. However, any additional rain is going to help us out, and that's what we have on hand. I mean, 1.5 inches, in some cases up to 2 inches of rain that we've seen over the last 2 to 3 days, and we have another 1/2 inch on the way. Take a look at that big green blob up around San Luis Obispo, moving through Santa Barbara right now. We are expecting our rain totals to elevate as we get into the about midday stretch. So 9 to 5 seems to be the time frame on this, though you could say some of these showers could start up as early as 8 and last through 6. So we've got a day of rain yet again today. Things should be a little bit lighter today than yesterday, but still a good amount of additional rain before we head into a dry weekend. Back to you, two.
New this morning here, 2 people accused of leading officers on a chase and then crashing into a home in Mira Mesa are under arrest. This all started just before 3 this morning. The pursuit ended in the 8800 block of Jade Coast Drive. You can see 2 parked cars were damaged here, as well as a garage. San Diego police telling us a man and a woman were in the car and they suffered minor injuries. The homeowner was not hurt, but he did talk to our photojournalist about what he witnessed.
Car in pursuit went past, and a couple minutes later he came back, and I flagged him down and told him that the car is over here on the side of the vehicles. He came up with his gun drawn and told her, get out the car, get out the car. And he walked around the front. She came out of the front windshield, but he was kind of trapped. It took him about 5 minutes before they finally got him out. I think his arm is broke.
San Diego police telling us the man and the woman in the car are facing charges, including felony evading. It's still not clear what started the chase.
And all lanes are now back open on the 8 following a fatal crash. It happened just after 1 this morning in the eastbound lanes near the College Avenue exit. As you can see, 2 cars were involved. It's not clear what led up to the crash. California Highway Patrol is investigating. All lanes are back open at this time. And President Trump could invoke a law last used during World War II as soon as today.
It's called the Aliens Enemies Act, and it allows the president to deport some migrants. CBS 8's Regina Yarita live near the border with everything we know about this 227-year-old law and what local leaders are saying about all of this here. Regina.
Yeah, good morning, Eric and Chris. Like you mentioned, this is an archaic law that is called the Aliens Enemies Act, and it's already sparking some controversy and could even face some legal challenges because the last time we used this act was under wartime. In fact, the last time it was used in World War II when the government used it to detain German and Japanese and Italian immigrants in internment camps. The law could give the president the power to order the arrest, detention, and deportation of non-citizens who are 14 years or older and come from countries staging a, quote, invasion or attack against the U.S. So today, President Trump is expected to invoke this statute, essentially to order the deportation of the suspected Venezuelan gang called Tren de Aragua. Immigrants being detained through the Alien Enemies Act would not be allowed to have a court hearing or an asylum interview since they would be processed under an emergency wartime authority, not immigration law. So this means they can be detained and deported with little to no due process. Some critics say it's unheard of to target migrants from countries with which the U.S. is not actively at war. We do know that Democratic leaders are already trying to repeal it, and one of those legislators is Representative Juan Vargas. He and other leaders are looking to instead pass a legislation to fully repeal the Alien Enemies Act. Now, Vargas says they've already seen innocent families and hardworking people with no criminal record swept up in this anti-immigrant agenda, adding that leaders need to pass a bill to protect the rights and due process of immigrants, not only here in San Diego County, but also across the country. Now, however, President Donald Trump has come out to say that he will use the full and immense power of federal and state law enforcement to eliminate the presence of all foreign gangs and criminals bringing devastating crime to U.S. soil. But here's what experts have to say about that.
Pretty clear based on the text of the law, that the Alien Enemies Act applies only to declared wars. I don't know the details of what President Trump and his team are planning, but we just don't have any alien enemies in the United States within the meaning of the law. We don't have any citizens or nationals of foreign states that we have a declared war against.
Now, Representative Vargas, along with other leaders, are instead looking to pass the Neighbors Not Enemies Act, which would essentially repeal this archaic act that prevents administrations, essentially what he says, from exploiting this old law. But we'll have more on that in the next half hour. For now, I'll send it back to you.
Regina, thank you. The Poway Unified School District could eliminate up to 100 positions. The school board unanimously approved the move last night as the district faces a $10 million budget deficit. The positions include 71 classified roles, including custodians, libraries, cafeteria workers, and 29 certificated roles, including preschool teachers, English language instructional assistants, student support assistants, and the safety and preparedness coordinator.
Our safety and preparedness coordinator, which manages all of our drills. She's the one that monitors search words, such as, if a student searches up active shooter or suicide, she watches those things, and she's the connection piece to make sure that we get in front of that with not only law enforcement, but student support.
We really need those social emotional people to help with our kids. So like if a kid gets like really angry or just has like this big emotion in them, they can like control it and they can like cope with it.
In a statement, the district said, quote, position elimination does not necessarily equate to layoffs, as some positions may be vacant or adjusted through restructuring. Additionally, there are other naturally occurring personnel reductions to be accounted for, such as retirements and resignations. Under California Education Code, all school districts must send layoff notices by tomorrow. Right now, the Grossmont Union High School District is considering eliminating 49 certificated jobs and about 12 classified positions. San Diego Unified says less than 30 possible layoff notices will be issued, but the district says it's likely most will not be laid off.
And more rain is on the way today and this morning. We are still feeling the impact of yesterday's storm. We saw downed trees, slick roads, and flooding across the county. In the South Bay, the Imperial Beach Pier and coastline were closed because of contaminated water from the Tijuana River. Mayor Paloma Aguirre says that she will keep pushing for an emergency declaration.
We'll never stop asking for that because thousands of families are getting sick just by breathing this foul and toxic air.
The International Boundary Water Commission says a partially collapsed collector in Tijuana is sending roughly 3.5 million gallons of wastewater into the Tijuana River every day. The EPA has asked Mexico to find ways to stop the flow while that collector is repaired. And right now, parts of the Golf Mart driving range, the Carlsbad Golf Center, flooded after the rain. Now, the Pro Shop tells us the grounds fill up with water at least once a year, and it will likely take days for the water to recede, and it might stay closed because they can't go out and collect the balls if there's all that water. And this morning, Fiesta Island is back open after it was closed during the storm. The city of San Diego shut down the entrance, saying the wet weather can make a muddy mess that is not ideal for pedestrians and cars. And the storm is also producing some fresh snow in our local mountains. This is what it looked like yesterday at the Laguna Mountain Lodge. They were forecast to get 4 to 6 inches. And this morning, schools in the following districts are closed because of the weather: Julian Union and Julian High School districts, and schools in the Mountain Empire Unified School District all closed today.
Hey, people see that fresh snow, might want to go explore a little bit this weekend.
As they should. Yeah. I mean, it's rare that we see this much snow off toward our local mountains. So we've got a couple more inches possible. I'd say maybe don't go today because we have additional snow on the way. So we like to keep the roads clear and make sure that those crews are able to clear those roads as well. However, that live look from Laguna Mountain Lodge, from Palomar Mountain, from Julian even, showing snow out there. So today is still going to be an active day. I'd say while we have that winter weather advisory in effect, maybe wait a bit. But that expires tonight. So tomorrow, Sunday, both great days to get out there. Here are your 2-day rain totals. I mean, they have been amazing. When we look at what we see along the coastline and inland, we have added an additional about 1.5 inches, in some cases close to 2 inches, to our water year thus far. Remember, we had for months on end been seeing that deficit build up of 2, 3, 4, 5. We got up to 7-inch deficits across San Diego County on our water year so far. So does this bring us back to normal? No. But does it bring us closer to it? Absolutely. I mean, now our deficit is only about 4 inches away from normal. And we still have another ½ inch on the way for the day today. So rain is going to start to pick up closer to about 9 a.m. It'll last all the way through about 6 p.m. And it looks like these are the totals that we'll see in that window. We're not expecting much in terms of thunderstorms or any heavy rain, really. Everything that we see in the forecast seems to be light to moderate at best. When we have the rain showers coming through today, we'll see cooler than normal temperatures, mostly in the low 50s. Climbing to the 60s on Saturday, 70s by Sunday. Look at Sunday. Mostly cloudy, but we'll still have some of the sun peeking through, and we could hit 70 inland. That's going to be a very pleasant day out there. By the time we get into the beginning of next week, there's still some uncertainty around Monday and how that could shape up, but it does seem like we could still be seeing a little bit of drizzle on the way for Monday. And like I said, those water year deficits, hey, I mean, we could use more, but we're now in that 4 to 5 inch deficit departure from normal as opposed to 7, 8 inches or so. Let's take a look at traffic and how your roads are this morning. We still have some wet roads. It's suggested you slow down your speeds as you head out on the morning commute. Want to take you to one stalled vehicle that we have on the roads this morning. We have the Gore Point obstructed there on the 5 southbound at the 163. So you could run into some difficulty with a stalled vehicle around that area. And then you also see on the left-hand side of your screen, lower left-hand side, that there is some red there, stop and go traffic getting into Coronado this morning. As always, we want to recommend that you head to, and let's take a look at our border wait times too. 75-minute wait at the San Ysidro port of entry, 30-minute wait at the Otay Mesa port of entry.